The market right now is still doing the exact same thing as last month. We go up and down, but mostly sideways. Nothing really happens. Best thing to do in there is to accumulate things, and something that I found recently was Nexchain over here, in which they say it's AI blockchain's future. The important thing is it tells you get like a 14x considering the current price compared to the launch price, which means if you put in like $100, that would be 1,400 give or take. They'll be listed on Bybit, Gate, Bitget, Maxi, KuCoin, and 3 more. Already got audited by both Certic as well as Solid Proof, and they got the golden verified checkmark on Twitter. Now we're gonna talk about a couple different things: who they are and who they worked with, then if you should give them money, and lastly, how to give them money. Like any other pre-sale, it's linked in the description down below. I'm pretty sure you can figure it out. Otherwise, here's the entire video all about what they do. They say it's the world's first AI-powered blockchain, bringing together advanced technology and the decentralization security. They have almost 40 pages in their white paper alone. And while this is all interesting, we focus on the what do they actually do type of thing. And that is, whenever there's a blockchain and you send money from one address to another, that transaction has to happen, right? So TPS in this case stands for transactions per second, and they can have 400,000 of them every second. To compare to Bitcoin, Bitcoin has 5. If you ever send anything on Bitcoin and you realize that it takes like 20, 30, 50 minutes sometimes and you wonder where's your money, it's because things aren't optimized. Now for AI, whenever you send a prompt, there could be a transaction, right? So the number of 400,000, pretty important. They get a hybrid consensus for reliability and stability, some AI magic with proof of stake, and some more. They do have interoperability, which means cross-chain bridges is a thing, so you don't have to have like 5 different wallets just to hold the same coins. The fees are 0.1 cents per transaction. I think on the Binance Smart Chain it's still like 10 to 20 cents, and on ETH it's sometimes like $6, $7, $8 depending on how congested the blockchain is. And they said this part over here, which I think is different than what I've seen so far, and that is smart contracts 2.0. AI smart contracts can self-optimize and make decisions. That sounds cool, and because they are already audited, I would assume this works well and makes things better. And if it does, then why don't we have this for all the other blockchains? And right now, for all the different buzzwords in here, they're having their pre-sale. It's also environmentally friendly. An AI-powered blockchain can be used for pretty much anything: finance, healthcare, content monetization, government administration, supply chain management, and more. They're already backed by Shima Capital, Animoca Brands, Outlier Ventures, and Dream Ventures. For the list of partners, you know, pretty big names. I would assume you heard about all of them. And here's what the token does. Before we learn how to give them money, let's take a look at the utility. You have instant transactions with low fees. True, that's nice. Staking is going to be a thing as well. Additional rights when it comes to platform administration, votings, protocols, all of that can be used to pay for AI services and models, which is a pretty big use function because you want the token to slowly be bought up and actively being used besides just being bought for hype. And it can also be used to make payments within their Nexchain based decentralized apps, ranging from microtransaction in games, huge, to purchasing AI generated content and digital items. And lastly, for digital payments. Also 10% of the network's income is distributed among coin holders who keep the assets in DeFi wallets. So like free money for holding it. I like that. Tokenomics. How many tokens are there going to be? Weird number, 2.15 billion for the initial supply. If we add all of these things up here for marketing to rewards to seeds and treasury, but at launch, as it says over here on their tokenomics side, for the circulating supply, it's going to be 500 million tokens, 523 million, with a price, variable, but listing price of 30 cents. Fully diluted market cap of 430 million. That's a lot. And an initial market cap of 157. Now, not too long ago, this over here launched, and they are completely different, right? Different projects, different ideas. But when they launched, they went to a market cap of 400 million almost immediately, despite having fairly big airdrops. And I think Sonic also had a pre-sale, I'm not sure. The point I'm trying to make is, even though hundreds of millions or 150 million seems like a lot for an initial market cap, if marketing is done right and they have the right partners, that is definitely possible. And also if the market, you know, keeps on doing the green thing here and it goes up, then easy. Now, how's the allocation? We got 20% for the public sale, 7% private, 10% for the team. It's pretty high, but I would assume those tokens are either vested or locked up. 6% are being burnt. Like to see that. 5% in the seed round, 7% for rewards. Also great. Marketing makes sense. Liquidity 8%, sure. Ecosystem treasury seems all right. What it usually comes down to is, after launch, how much does the team get? And do they lock up the tokens for multiple years? How much vesting is there? Or do they sell it off? And if we check that for the token vesting schedule over here, when it comes to the team, they have a vesting of 24 months, 2 years, cliff of almost an entire year. And of the 10% that they have, 10% of that gets unlocked at TGE. Or in other words, 1% of the tokens will be in supply that the team owns. And in that case, That's pretty good. I like that. For the pre-sale stages, right now it says on the main page over here that we are in round 5. If we check this schedule over here, you can see there are lots of stages. The last stage is 50. We still get like a 1.5x, as you can buy one token for 20 cents and the launch price is 30 cents. But right now it's stage 5. That's pretty early. You get like a 14 to 15x, right? Now, obviously, the earlier the better, but this is pretty early. When we check their Twitter and we just scroll down a little, just 5 days ago, they reached stage 4 over here. And 6 days ago, they raised 200K. So within 6 days, $200,000, give or take, went into the pre-sale. And that is before the marketing happens. Or at least before more and more marketing is about to happen, which would then put a zero behind this fairly quickly. Now for the team behind it, they aren't shown here with pictures, but with names. And you can simply open the link that way. Or you can see who is behind that. They also have their own Medium page, on which they write articles and have updates, what they accomplished. It's one of those rare instances where Medium actually makes sense in order for them to give updates as they're actively using it. And they also, had an announcement that they partner with Ledger to bring secure hardware level protection for Next holders. Now let's go on the roadmap real quick to see what they have in plan over the next couple of years, and then I'll show you how to give them money. While there is a lot of text, and obviously it's a great idea to have all of these things planned, you never know if it actually happens in the exact time frame. But so far, we're still in phase 1 over here. Token cell and network initialization, deployment of the testnet, having the seed, private and public rounds, raising a total of 90 million. In 6 to 12 months from now, we look at the deployment of the Nexchain mainnet, AI enhanced proof of stake consensus, cross-chain bridge deployments, the initial version of that, supporting ETH, Binance Smart Chain and Polygon. And then in the future, more scalability enhancements and ecosystem growths, governance integration, long-term expansion. All of this doesn't matter too much yet because it didn't happen yet. This will be in a year from now at the earliest stage. So I'll keep you up to date on how that goes. So all of this, great idea, but first, this has to happen, this has to finish, and they have to launch. And until then, when you want to get a 14 to 15x, here's how to give them money. Obviously, my link is in the description down below to join the pre-sale. Top right corner, connect your wallet. You can select MetaMask, Phantom, Trust, Bybit, Binance, Coinbase, or 440 other wallets, basically anything. And then for the amount of coins that you can pick on different chains, you have ETH, you got any type of stablecoin. You can even pay for them Bitcoin, Shiba, Doge, Tron, Cardano even, Ton, pretty much whatever you have. Now they say the minimum amount to purchase is $20 in here. And once you did that over here on the claim area, you will see how much you're eligible to claim at TGE. Now for the public round though, 15% of the tokens you get will be unlocked at TGE, which means if you put $100 in, and $100 becomes like $1,400 worth of tokens, then you get 15% of that, which would still mean that you immediately get like a 2x if you were to sell the tokens right away, and then you still have 85% of tokens that are in a vesting schedule over the next 12 months, on which you would then get 7% of your tokens every single month for the next year. Obviously, any type of presale is completely speculative. Even if they launch at 30 cents, you never know what happens after. Do they go to $1 or 5 or 10? Or because people all like money, are they going to sell off their tokens day by day by day and the price simply drops? Hard to say, but based on their partners, the backers, and the future listings, this should at least stay stable at a market cap of 150 mil at what they're going to launch with. And if Bitcoin goes to like 100k and above eventually, and we have our bull run, hopefully extended bull run, then I think this is pretty good. You can also see for the top holders, number 1 put in $40,000 in here, and number 10 behind my camera put in $6,000 so far. And if you put in more than $1,300, then you're already a top 50 holder at the current price. I put in about $500 myself at the current stage, and I think I'm going to go for more once the market does a little bit more of the green and allows me to buy more altcoins, get into more pre-sales, and hopefully get the big multiplier. Now again, they say over here it's going to be a 1,363% gain return on investment at launch. But don't forget, you get 15% of your tokens at launch and then 7% of your tokens per month for the next 12 months. Things that are AI based are already performing pretty well. And once you have the next leg up in the market, I think this one is going to go well. Plus, they have the hiring section down here, in which you can see they hire lots of people in the US and from around the world for project management, blockchain analytics, brand management, business development, project manager, and links down below. Obviously, not financial advice. I think you're an adult, you know there's the risks to absolutely everything. Look to this on yourself, and I'll see you fairly soon, probably when this one is in like round 15 or 20, or even further, so I can update you on how everything goes in here. And until then, take care.